Well, the Supreme Court rejected President Biden's plan to wipe away $400 billion in student loan debt. So what does this mean for the more than 43 million people that would have benefited from this relief? News Channel 7's Hector Mendoza joins us with reaction from Idahoans about the Supreme Court's decision. Hector.
In the student loan case, justices struck down Biden's long-delayed program, which would have allowed eligible borrowers to cancel up to $20,000 in debt. So I walked around Boise to hear what people with student loan debt thought about the Supreme Court's decision. If you don't mind me asking, how much student loan do you have?
Right now I have 11,000, and with the other 9,000 I'll be exactly at 20.
In total I have $26,200.
I expect that by the end of school I'll have about 60,000 in loans.
I know you saw my board there.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what's your opinion about it?
My opinion about it, as been a veteran, someone that had the opportunity to serve our nation for 25 years, I believe that the Supreme Court is wrong in this. I don't think it's really the Supreme Court's scope to actually manage or how Americans manage their student loan debt, because of circumstances in which we accumulate that debt. It's, those circumstances, we're doing that to get a means of better way of life.
I agree with the decision. Whenever an executive agency acts, they have to act with Congress's authority. So normally Congress delegates that authority to them. But when they make big decisions, the law generally says that the Congress has to speak clearly if you want to make a decision that big. And Congress has not spoken that clearly to it. And so I think the loan forgiveness was they overstepped their authority.
I just think it's silly that they will give like a bunch of tax breaks for big businesses and like kind of help everybody that has money, but when it comes to people that like need the money for something, they are like, we don't really want to help you.
I think when you borrow money, you borrow it and they tell you, you have to pay this back. And so I took the money out expecting that I would be the one paying it back.
I mean, I applied for the student loan to relieve them. Was kind of like happy about it just because like where I come from, I don't have like a lot of money, which is typically why people have to get student loans.
I don't know everybody's personal situations and why they would rely on it, but I do know that they signed a loan, and so there's terms and conditions in that loan. They didn't have to accept it. Nobody forced them to accept it. Me personally, I worked all the way through college as an undergrad, and I worked through college as a law student. I took a semester off during my undergrad to prepare financially.
It's what a lot of people have to do in order to like propel in your career, because if not, like I'd be doing what I'm doing, which is like working at a restaurant. That's just not something that I want to do, and I also don't want to be at like the bottom of like the totem pole for every company that I work for, which seems to happen if you don't have a degree.
There are already programs in place for teachers and government workers and especially low-income people. They can have their loans forgiven provided they do certain things. But just a general, if you make $125,000 or less, we're going to forgive. I don't think that's the right way to do it.
I think the Biden administration's done a good job doing other things with student loans that have been really helpful, and I would encourage people who are struggling to go through those remedies and do the best they can.
Maybe they can just make college actually affordable and try to do something instead of like bailing people out. They could make a better program so that people are able to succeed without having to be tens of thousands of dollars into debt.
Today, the Biden administration says that they are working on alternatives to provide students with as much relief as possible, which includes launching a temporary year-long on-ramp repayment program.